here on SportsTownChicago.com. 3-2 lead into the third. Take the Chicago Cougars here against the team in first place in the Dells Ducks. A chance to even things up in the standings if they can hold on to this one with 3 losses apiece, and they'd also have the winning edge over the Ducks, so they would be above them in the standings. So very important 2 games here in an important final third period. Can the Ducks come back, or can the Cougars hold on and win it here in this third period? You have a man in the box on either side on those offsettings and the extra one in Hauke for the Cougars. But it is 5-on-5 hockey right now, the one thing to point out. Starting off for their, it is 5-on-5. So starting off for the Cougars, they're going to go with Kropp, Rayback, and number 17 in Savain. And then on the back end, it'll be Doremus, and it looks to be Hunter Schiffman. As this one will be 1-2 Willie Doremus as they look along the far side, trying to get that one into Savain, as it'll be touched up by Arneson as he'll send it along the far boards. Right wing corner, it comes over to Task. Task for the Ducks sends it along the far side as it's the Kaplan. As Kaplan will dump it down to the left wing corner. Yes, getting to the puck first will be Vela. Vela sending it over to the left wing corner towards Kaplan as Vela gives it up to the left point for a quick shot, hits the player out in front, and Savain can't throw it out in front to himself as it's on the stick of Task. Task will send this one up and out of play. It'll be a face-off. I think it'll be inside or in the near dot, or inside in the right circle. 19:24 left to go. 3-2 Cougars with the lead. So early on in the period, puck controlled there for a little bit by the Ducks, but nothing really going in their end, and almost having Savain with an opportunity as this one's one up to the Ducks. Kling, as trying to send this one out was Letmansky, but it's taken by Palermo. Sends it over along the right wing, skating in, and Palermo playing a forward position again as he backhands that one towards the net. Save made by Arneson, goes in behind. Along those end boards, 2 players there on either end as the Ducks with control, sending it over towards number 40 in LeBauer. As LeBauer tries to skate out, comes back in onto the stick of Palermo as he tries to wrist this one in. He just thought he was playing as a forward spot. Looks like maybe he is playing the defensive spot. Either way, it gets onto the stick of Peters as he sends it to the right wing corner. Comes back over to number 24 in Justad as he's along the left wing. Poked away nicely from him by Olsen as that one will hit off the official there. And finally taken back and controlled for the Ducks by LeBauer. LeBauer will send it into the zone in behind. Gillis will slow it down as he has a player there as he gives it off as it's passed up right to Johnson as Johnson will take a shot, tipped out in front, and Gillis with the save as this goes into the left wing corner. Good save by Gillis there to keep his team up by 1 as this gets on to number 20 Van Dyke's stick. Van Dyke for the Cougars, up through the middle, passes it off to the left to Schwartz. Schwartz skating into the zone, and he brought it in off sides. He kind of lost it off his stick as he was bringing it in. So it'll be a face-off in the near dot with 18:05 left to go. 1-goal lead for the Cougars. Finally had some puck control time, but weren't able to get into the zone there and get to work. See what they can do here as Kropp will win the face-off back, but it goes in between the 2 players he had intended it for. Hunter Schiffman now behind his own net. Passes it over to the right wing corner of his own end. Quick pass up to Kropp now as he skates through the neutral zone. Chips one in front for Savain. Savain tried to backhand it, but the player down on the ice comes right back to Savain in the left wing corner of the Duck zone. Sends it back to Savain. Savain cutting in front, takes a shot there, and that one off Arneson and goes in behind. He didn't even know he made the save as this one chips off the glass and gets onto the stick of Hepburn. Hepburn turning around, sends it forward, but right to Walkinen as he passes it over to Schiffman. Schiffman cross ice pass diagonally off of Savain and into the zone, but it's offside, so it didn't actually touch him. So bring it back in icing to the, we'll see what circle they put it in. Looks like it'll go left wing circle with 17:26 left to go. Nope, right wing circle. Face off from the right circle, won by the Ducks, tipping off the stick of Rayback as chasing down after it is Anthony Savain. As Savain can't beat the man to the puck as he goes in behind. He ends up going down into the net, and the net came off the boring. So we'll see where they put this face-off. Looks like it'll be in the left circle. 17:10 left to go here. Savain using his speed to get out in front, just couldn't get control of the puck and just couldn't really stop himself too much. They will bring it out of the zone. I thought that's what they were going to do. So we'll be in the near dot as Watson will win it to Letmansky, bounces off of Watson and comes right back to the Ducks and Task. Task along the right wing, dumps it in as it'll go right over towards Palermo. Palermo back over to the near side to Letmansky. Letmansky bouncing off of a player in front, and now it's to the right point where it's held in for the Ducks by Task in behind. Good stick, doesn't allow a centering pass as it comes back to the Ducks. Spinning it up ahead to Letmansky along the left wing. Throws it to the right wing corner as the Ducks will chase in, or the Cougars will chase in after it, as the Ducks will get there first, but lose control on the left wing half boards. Willie DeRemus whiffs on a pass there. Now skating in and going to get it all alone is Beal. Beal getting into the slot, puts it onto his backhand, and just getting there in time was Olsen, but a hand up into the air. As this one will be touched up here, and we'll see it's going to be a slash as the call. So it will be a power play opportunity for the Dells Ducks. But I want to see that again, because that was really, if that doesn't happen, if he doesn't make the slash here, if Olsen doesn't do that, it's a great opportunity on the backhand for Beal. As you see, Olsen hustling over, just takes a quick swipe, and it's enough to not allow the shot to get on goal. As this one into the left wing corner, controlled by the Ducks. Shot from the right point, as that one actually whiffing on it was Smith as he couldn't get it off. Sends it in behind the net now as two players along the end boards try to free the puck. It's onto the stick now of Kaplan into the right wing corner. He skates with it as he gets pinned up there. He's trying to come in and free the puck up. Are the two players as they battle for it. Couple players coming in on either side now as it finally comes free and through the middle of the ice. Doesn't get out. Good stick by Test, keeps it in. Sends it down low into the right wing corner on a Kaplan stick. Back to Test, back to Kaplan now. Right circle shot as looked like it got a piece of it was Gillis that goes in behind the net. As it's Shannon now with it as he tried to feed it into the slot. Gets right to the Cougars. It ended up hitting the stick of Kropp. If it doesn't hit his stick, that's going out of the zone. Kropp able to get the puck onto his stick momentarily, frees it up and finally clears it down. Minute 2 left on the power play here with 15:50 left to go in the period. So the Ducks look to start up here on this last half of the power play as waiting for his team to get set up. And now finally skating out is the defenseman and Nekaraj as he sends it to the near side. Back cross ice it goes over to Nielsen on the left wing for the Ducks as his pass goes into those left wing half boards and it's taken back by the Cougars as the board battle ensues. Finally comes free onto the Ducks stick, back up top of the right circles. A shot there, Gillis with the save, rebound came out, and it's onto the stick and cleared out by Mike Watson, the captain, as he sends it to the left wing corner. 20 seconds left to go here with 14:47 left to go. As this one ends up in behind the net. Comes over to the near side, Kling cross ice pass as it goes to Nielsen. Nielsen, top of the left circle, a shot there. Gillis able to get a piece of it as it's bouncing in the slot. Comes back over to the near side, Savain. Savain pushing it forward. Penalty over for the Cougars as it's back to 5-on-5 hockey. Comes to Schwartz at the top of the right circle, feeds it off for Savain. Savain holding it on as he was waiting for the last player to come on as this goes in behind the net. Right wing corner now, Schiffman, who's down in as an offensive player. He's got Savain up in his spot as this one goes down low. Comes back over along the near half boards. Nielsen trying to hold on to that puck as two players try to dig it out. Finally gets out into the neutral zone and then poked right back in by the Cougars. As this one, a poke check frees it up to Schwartz. Schwartz looking to cross the blue line, try to dump it to the right wing corner, but it hit off of a leg as the Cougars will dump it right back in after it was taken away by Pedersen for the Ducks. 13:36 left to go here in the period. It's a 1-goal lead for the Cougars. Player lost an edge in Lombard as pass comes to the near side for the Ducks on the stick of Shannon. Shannon along the right wing. Into the right circle, sends a shot, but blocking it out in front was Matt Olsen. Back along the near side, pass that gets out into the neutral zone on the stick of Palermo. Palermo on the right wing skating in as he hits into the right circle. Tried to take a shot, whiffed on the opportunity as it bounces right back to Shannon. Shannon along the right wing. He gets a back check there. That frees the puck onto Doremus' stick. Finds the player streaking forward, but is a little bit too far out in front for Peters to play. Comes back over to the far side and a pass into the middle for the Ducks as it's Hepburn. Back along the left wing, crosses the blue line, loses the puck. As it's still controlled by his team on Johnson's stick as he directs it to the left wing corner. As it comes for Lockinen, back over along the right wing corner boards. And in behind to LeBauer for the Ducks. LeBauer battling along those boards, keeping control for his team as he sends it up towards the right point. Cutting in front is Van Dyke as he takes it here. Lifts it high into the right wing corner for a much needed change for the Cougars. Task back in behind his own net for the Ducks as the Cougars have fresh legs out on offense and defense. Back over to the near side, comes to Olsen, chips it off the near glass. As this one bounces right back to him. Passes it over to the near side, over to Schiffman. Schiffman crosses the center line, dumps it to the left wing corner diagonally. Johnson for the Ducks has it on his stick momentarily. Check frees it up for Rayback, up towards the right point, but Schiffman was starting to cut in towards the middle, so he couldn't play the puck. Gillis will throw it in behind, give it off to Matt Olsen, who backhands it right back to Schiffman. A bouncing puck turned over, pass in towards the slot, but couldn't get into a shooting spot for number 40 in LeBauer. As this one comes back up to the point now, we got a hand up into the air, and we got, I think, a player on either side going. So I think you'll have LeBauer and Letmansky go in. This one, I don't know if it's going to be offsetting or not. I think this one might be, I think this might make it go 4-on-4. We'll see. You got 5 out there for the Cougars, so I guess not. So it is offsetting minors. So it will be 5-on-5 hockey. 11:41 left in the period. Cougars still have that 1-goal lead. Kropp on one side in the face-off dot, and on the other side it's Mowry. Kropp will win it as he gives it off to Savain. Savain going back over as he gives it off to Olsen, who turned it over into his own legs. To Gillis with a big save into his stomach, and then it's quickly cleared out into the neutral zone. Dumped right back in. Gillis will slow it up as it goes into the right wing corner onto the stick of Olsen. Olsen back to Hunter Schiffman as he goes to the far side on the pass to Savain. Savain uses the glass to send it out to Kropp. Kropp bouncing puck onto the stick of Lockinen as he tries to chip it in for Kropp. Right circle shot, and he missed the net wide as it goes in the left wing corner. Up to the left point, Savain trying to hold it in as he gets upended by Kaplan. As this one into the left wing half boards, hand up into the air, and it's going to be a tripping call on Kaplan. So it'll be a power play opportunity for the Cougars. And luckily for the Cougars, the misconduct penalty that was on Nickerson just ended. As there you see that big save from Dylan Gillis on the turnover right at the feet of Olsen. Just got big up onto the top of the blue paint is why he was able to make that save, making it easier on himself and cutting off the angle of the net. He has the face-off here in that left circle inside the Duck zone, won by the Cougars. Goes up to Palermo at the left point, toes the line, passes it to Doremus, goes into the left circle over for Watson, who tried to pass it in towards the slot, but too many sticks there, so it's taken back by Vela for the Ducks as he will lift this one back down and out. Minute 45 left on the power play, 10:43 left in the game. Along the near side, it's on Willie Doremus' stick. Skates along the left wing. He'll spin it along the boards to the right wing corner where it'll come to Van Dyke, who will let it by. Up to the right point now for Palermo. Back to the top of the right circle, loading up his Watson. Goes low, back to Watson as he tried to send a shot, and save made with the pad as it was a shot from the slot on a rebound as this one comes back out. As it'll come back over to Doremus on the near side. Pass back into the middle for Watson as he sends it out for Van Dyke to chase after. He sent it a little bit too far, but that one ends up out of play. So that'll be a face-off inside the right circle. 1:06 left to go. 10:08 left to go in the period. 3-2 lead for the Chicago Cougars. See who the Cougars decide to come out with now, as they do have Gavin Nickerson back out there after he got out of the box. So they'll come back with that top line of Nickerson, Rayback, and Savain. As Nickerson tried to win it up but didn't win it quick enough. As cutting in front was Beal to take the puck as he skates along the right wing, takes a shot from the top of the right circle, goes up into the glass and into the left corner. Back in behind the net, it's controlled by Doremus as Doremus skates through the middle. Actually, that's Schiffman. Schiffman pass out of the reach of Rayback as it goes into the left wing corner and in off the end boards. Dumped right back the other way. 40 seconds left to go on the power play opportunity for the Cougars as Gillis will touch it up behind his own net. Pass to the right wing, skating up through the middle was Zavane. He lost the puck right to a Ducks player as he's free over on the near side as he's able to touch this one forward for Rayback, who has to go back in towards the middle as there's a bit of a late hit and there's a hand up into the air. Cougars just need to give the puck and they'll have some 5-on-3 time, but they're going to go for the extra attacker. Rayback shot there, hits off a skate. They wouldn't have much time, so probably a better decision. Zavane up at the high slot, takes a shot, bounces off to the right circle for Doremus as he sends a shot that hits a player out in front. As they've got that extra attacker, there's Nickerson with the shot as it goes up into the glass and then is finally touched down. So it'll be 5-on-4 again after that penalty. As the official was right there to see that as it was number 3 in Riley Beal. The official had his back turned and then he turned right to see what was happening. That allows for the Cougars to go back on the power play. 9:02 left to go here, 2 minutes of power play time once again. As the face-off will hit off of the glove hand of Doremus and come out to Palermo. Palermo up to Lomberg. Lomberg can't control the puck, but it bounced off a Ducks player, I thought. No, it didn't, as it'll come right back into the zone of the Cougars. It was tough to tell from this angle if it was touched or not. So face-off will be in the right circle. So right wing circle. One over to the near half boards by the Ducks as they control, but it's stolen away as cutting in front with the puck is Jesper Lomberg. Lomberg across the Ducks blue line, drops it off at the top of the right point. Up to Palermo now as he sends a wrister that goes wide of the net, up to the right point now to Doremus as he tried to chip it down low. Cutting in front and sending it down deep was Kaplan as it gets to Dylan Gillis. Gillis behind his own net with the puck, drops it off as it comes to Doremus. Doremus along the left wing, goes around one player, bottom of the left circle, spins around, sends it up towards the left point to Palermo. Back to the right point now to Savane. Savane taking him down along the boards, down to the bottom of the right circle as it's into the skate of the player there, is trying to keep control, and Van Dyke. Van Dyke battling along those boards. 1:02 left to go on the power play for the Cougars. Up to the right point now to Palermo, who slowed it down. Top of the right circle, feeding it back down low. Player was going inside in Savane as that one came back to the left wing half boards. Back to Doremus. Doremus back over to Savane. As he circles around, switches positions, wrists it back down low for Nickerson. Nickerson feeding it back to Doremus at the left point. Cross ice, over for Palermo as he sends a shot, ends up hitting off the leg of Van Dyke as it comes back into the right wing half boards. Back along to Van Dyke as he gives it up to Willie Doremus. Sending it back down low, inside for a shot from Nickerson that deflects off a stick and out of play. Not a lot of shots there for the Cougars on that part of the power play, but they will get the face-off inside of the zone with 23 seconds left on the power play opportunity and 7:25 left in the period. For the Cougars, they do have the lead, but they want to try and capitalize on one of these power play opportunities to give themselves a little bit of breathing room here as the time winds down. As this one will be wristed out by the Ducks all the way down where Dylan Gillis will touch it up. He gives it off in behind for Willie Doremus. Doremus, cross ice pass to the right side. As sending it down in behind was Kropp. But right there to take it was Mowry, and he sends it right back as Matt Olson will come and pick it up. Dylan Gillis trying to get his team pumped. Olson along the left wing. He gets poked there, and the puck comes free. Is that one poked away now by Letmansky as Kropp will have to circle back around. Back to 5-on-5 hockey, dumping it into the zone with Schiffman as it comes and rings around to the right wing corner. As another hit by the Ducks frees it up. As they look to start back, LeBauer, cross ice pass, stretch over to number 57 and Nielsen, lost it as he was trying to cross the blue line. As this one goes off the glass into the right wing corner, right where Hunter Schiffman is. Pass into the middle, has a player wide open, tries to get out in front for Schwartz, could not do so as Kling cut in front. Kling for the Ducks, circles around in his own end. as he comes in front of his own net, makes a pass through the middle off the stick of LeBauer, who chips it along the left wing half boards to himself. Poked away from him by Palermo as it goes along those far boards. Quick shot from the left point that hits off a couple of sticks and goes to the right wing corner. Player pinned up there by Lockinen as he freed the puck up, but right to a player on the Ducks. Comes up to Johnson now, right point shot, hits one of the Cougars players in front on the block, and now the cross-ice pass goes to number 14 in Peters, who has to retreat and give it back to Palermo. Palermo off to Schwartz, who tries to use it along the near side. This puck up high into the air, hits off of Watson's head, and then comes back over to the far side. Glass there in between the benches sent this puck over to the near boards. Ducks back with control here using the near glass. Palermo tried to slow this one down as Watson will dump it in as they need a change. Savain putting some pressure on. Cody Rayback gets it up to the left point for a shot from Doremus. Blocker save made, comes back in behind for a shot there. It goes high over the net from Savain. Nickerson trying to keep control of the puck. Comes back over along the near side to Beal for the Ducks as he turns it over back to the Cougars. Rayback with a shot there, and it's right into the glove hand of the goaltender in Arneson for a left wing circle faceoff with 4:59 left to go in the period. 3-2 Cougars holding on to that lead. Some offense generated there finally. It's been a lot of time spent in the Cougars' end here in this third period. The Ducks pushing to try and get this tie. Left wing corner, it's onto the stick of Tesk, sending it over to the far side. Hits off a skate of a player. And now we'll finally come to Lomberg for the Cougars. Crop with it now, sends it over to the left wing as it goes to the left wing corner. Puck bouncing there, comes free back to the Ducks along the near side as it's Mowry as he dumps it into the zone where it's picked back up by Lomberg. Lomberg can't get to the puck as it's on the stick of Vela. As Vela tried to center a pass, goes behind the player and then past another in Tesk as the Ducks take it back in their own end. Test there, lost it into his own skates, but he's able to get it away quickly to number 23 in Smith. Cross-ice pass, able to read it the entire way is Van Dyke. Van Dyke into the zone, sends a wrist shot low, and it's grabbed with the glove hand by the goalkeeper in Arneson for a left wing circle face-off with 4:06 left to go. Cougars with some pressure here now, not letting a whole lot get on to Dylan Gillis here as of late. Need to spend some more time in their offensive end, though. At least got to try and get one more goal here. Give yourself that more comfortable lead. This one bounces in behind. Controlled by the Cougars momentarily, and now the Ducks have it back as this comes to the near side to Nielsen, but holding it in at the left point was Zvane as it goes to the right wing corner. Justot for the Ducks tries to break out. Finally does as he hits it off a Cougars skate, and it'll come all the way back to the Cougars' Matt Olson. Uses the near glass to try and work it out, but cutting in front was LeBauer as he took it back for the Ducks. On that near side, Kling keeping it in at the right point for the Ducks as it's down low into the right wing corner as it's finally free on the Palermo's stick. Palermo able to free it up and send it over to Cody Rayback. Backhands it to a streaking Nickerson. He chips it off the boards over to Zvane. Zvane trying to backhand one in towards the slot to Nickerson. In behind the net as he comes out in front, sends the shot low, and the save made with the left pad by the goalkeeper Arneson. Back to the near side, out into the neutral zone. It's on Justot's stick as he sends it to the right wing corner. Slowed up by Dylan Gillis for Hunter Schiffman as he takes it behind his own net. Tried the stretch pass to Van Dyke, who was starting to go off for a change, it looked like, as Gillis will deflect this one up into the netting with 2:59 left to go here in this third period. Still 3-2 Cougars. See if they, what the Cougars decide to do here. Looks like Van Dyke was starting to go for a change. That's why he didn't see where the puck was coming. Either way, face-off one to Hunter Schiffman for the Cougars, but he turns it over right to Johnson for the Ducks. Right wing corner, taken back by the Cougars is Watson. Watson through the middle of the ice. Has a player to his left in Van Dyke as Van Dyke tried to center the pass. Can't do it, get it through the traffic as it ends up on Letmansky's stick. Up to the right point, back over to Doremus as he sends the shot low. Can't tip it in front was Van Dyke as it goes to the right wing half boards. As the Ducks look to break back out, it's Beal. Beal sending it to the left wing corner. His team in need of a change. Cougars doing the same as it gets onto the stick of Hunter Schiffman. 2:23 left to go here in the third period. Lifted up high into the air, right towards the slot. Good stick, keeps the puck in the zone by Lomberg as it goes back in behind the net, where Tesk will try and take it back for the Ducks, and he uses the near glass to send it to the neutral zone. D-to-D pass, Cougars with control once again. As this one rung around over to Kropp. Kropp near his own blue line, turns the puck over right to Vela. Vela cross ice over to the left wing to Smith, who gets pinned up in front of his own bench in his own zone. Two players there, is able to hold that one just in and floating up for a shot as that one deflects wide. Was the shot from Palermo as it goes along the right wing half boards. Two players for the Cougars in there, three for the Ducks, and the Cougars come out with it. Skating in towards the slot was Nickerson as it goes back in behind the net. Back to Nickerson in the left circle as he sends a shot. Save made by Arneson as it'll be a face-off now in the left circle. Minute 29 left to go here in this third and final period. Some good effort here in the later part of the period for the Cougars as well as they make changes. They'll come out with Watson, Savain, and DeRemus. Or no, we're going to have that was actually Rayback, were the three that it looked like they were going to come out with, but now a timeout, I think, taken by the Dells Ducks as they're going to discuss how they want things to go here. And you would have to imagine coming out soon will be Tyler Arneson, and that's why they're taking this timeout. Here on SportsTownChicago.com, Chris Labasco with you with a moment here. We'll thank our production crew on the cameras for you tonight. We got Lee and Chris, who've been doing a great job, and Timmy Helms, the one directing tonight as well. Great effort by the crew tonight. And this very good game between the top two teams in the Western Conference of the Midwest Division of the USPHL. For the Cougars here, it's about keeping control of the puck for this last minute and a half, spending as much time in the Ducks' end as possible. Don't allow them to get that extra attacker out there. Keep Arneson in his paint, as the puck is going to start off in their zone for the Ducks. So in order for them to even get him out of there, they've got to get it down the ice. And obviously Coach Stofers is going to talk about, if they do get to 6-on-4, what to look out for, what to watch for. Make sure you don't forget that there's the extra attacker and don't lose sight of him when you're down 6-on-4, and that you protect the house. As this one won by the Ducks in behind their own net, as they make this pass through the middle. Able to deflect it away was Hunter Schiffman, but it eventually will get to Nielsen, as here comes the goalkeeper in Arneson. Left wing corner, extra attacker out onto the ice. Gets up to the left point here. As this one sent down low, bounces off the end boards as a centering pass, but it comes right to Gavin Nickerson. Nickerson around one, comes to the near side. He's got Savain on the other end. Nickerson able to, and he gets hooked up high, and he takes a shot, misses the net wide. Comes to Savain now, as Savain going to skate back smartly and try and kill off some more time, because this faceoff, regardless of what happens, is going to come into the zone of the Ducks, as it's finally touched, and a high sticking call is what is made. So Arneson will have to come back out, and they'll have to finish here 5-on-4 until they get it down into the zone again of the Cougars. So good job by Gavin Nickerson to draw the penalty. Still 48 seconds left to go, though. The Cougars are going to come out right now with the line of Watson, Lomberg, and Kropp. They want to keep maybe that top line for the last 30 seconds or so. We'll see what they decide to do here. As the face-off along the left wing, one to Hunter Schiffman as he'll send it back down low. Is trying to push it out in front was Lomberg. Can't do so. Taken back along the far side. It's on the stick of Mowry. Mowry almost turns it over, able to get it down deep into the Cougar zone, but it's back onto the stick of Olsen. Extra attacker coming out, so it'll be 5-on-5 here for the last half minute. As this one will be down and in for an icing on the Cougars. That's a big icing by the Cougars, and Brad Stouffer's not happy. I think he thought that was touched by someone. As a replay of that one, we'll take a look at and see what happened on that icing. We'll see what ends up. Actually, I think we might have a penalty, as you have both the captains going over there. So we'll watch this one here. As you see, the Cougars had control of it there, but then this is where things get interesting, right? So along those far boards, you're going to see the goalie end up coming out, but this is where things happen. So you're seeing the Cougars here, goes off the glass, and I think they're saying that there was a chance that it was touched by Sean Task, and that's what would have caused it to not be an icing. From our angle, from the camera angle there, because of where it is along the boards, we can't quite see if Task touches it or not, but it comes really close to him. So we're still waiting to see what ends up happening here, because they're talking to the captains. I don't know what about. I don't know if there's a call that's going to happen. For what? I have no idea. But they've got Smith and Watson out there. So like I said, tough to see if that was touched or not by Task along the near side. Still waiting to see what they're trying to figure out here. You've got 1:37 left of power play time. Is one thing, and now the officials are talking still. So I don't know if maybe they're putting some more time back onto the clock. If maybe the clock didn't start on time or stop on time, but nothing's changed so far. I don't know what they've been talking about for so long. I think it was pretty straightforward. If it's an icing, it's an icing. So after all of that, everything is exactly the same, and now the face-off will be in the right wing circle. So the Dells Ducks with a chance here as they have the extra attacker out. It's on the stick of Kropp. Kropp chipping it along the left wing half boards. Gets on the Lomberg stick. He tries to take a shot towards the net. Misses it wide as it comes back over to the far side. It is 5-on-5 hockey because of the penalty. And then we have a whistle here for an offsides, it looks like. So that'll be a face-off in the far dot. About 11 seconds left to go here, 1:21 of power play time. If this does end up somehow getting to overtime, there will be carryover power play time for the Cougars. And now they're saying that it was an inadvertent whistle, so they put it at center ice. And the Ducks aren't happy with that, because why would you call the offsides? So now getting kicked out was Mowry, as it'll be Kaplan into the face-off dot. Comes right to Lomberg, who sends it down the middle, and he hits it off the post. So that'll be an icing and bring it back into the Cougars zone. You've got as you're hearing people talk about it hitting the post, either way, it'll be a right wing circle face-off, as it's won by the Ducks. As there's a shot, comes free again. As this one, they try to get into the slot. That puck's still free somewhere, and the buzzer goes, and it's Cougars win 3-2 over the Ducks. Big Friday win for the Chicago Cougars, as that'll even things up in the standings as they go and mob their goalie, Dylan Gillis, who held on there at the end to tie things up in the standings. So Saturday game, even more important now for both of these teams. When you look at it for the Dells Ducks, they've now relinquished first place, at least for 24 hours, as the Chicago Cougars have tied they are still ahead in points, but in the loss column, which is one of the more important things, they're now even. So they haven't quite relinquished it yet, but it's now 46-44. The Cougars still in second, but they have 3 wins against the Ducks. So at their worst, they tie them 3-3, and then going into the final series, things will become more important as they thank the home crowd here at the Leafs Center. And this has been a good one here. When you look at it for the Cougars, they're able to hold on to that 3-2 lead there in the third period. They had to fight through some adversity as well. A lot of penalties that were called, but on both sides. So a very interesting game with how it ended up being officiated because of all of the calls, but it finished out the way that the Cougars wanted it to. They now have 3 wins against the Ducks going into their final home game here against the Dallas Ducks, seeing how things will finish out. If they can win that one, they'll be tied in points in the standings, and they'll be ahead by 1 less loss than the Ducks as well. So very important game coming up when you look at things, when we're starting to look at the playoff picture and home ice advantage and having that top seed. As the top seed, or the top stars are being named right now, Sylvain, one of them, Matt Olson, another, and then the final one, I believe that was Mike Watson, were your 3 stars for this one for the Chicago Cougars. That's going to do it here for us, though. It was a huge win for the Cougars, but they still have one more game against the Dells Ducks. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night, same time, around 9:50, depending on how things go, maybe a little bit later, on SportsDownChicago.com and FastHockey.com.